Hello internet, I'm Michael Ghould, welcome to Tunnel Vision. Today's December 3rd, and if you don't already know, I have a new song out called Ode from the Dance Floor. And to celebrate the drop, I'm gonna share one of my all-time favorite party stories. But before we get to that, please make sure you're subscribed, and since you're already down there, you may as well just click the like button, because why not? Okay, so the year is 2015, and I had just moved to New York City. A few days before the Met Ball, it was announced that Lady Gaga was going to be co-hosting an after party with the fashion designer Alexander Wang. And me being like the ultimate party boy, I was like, okay, bet, I need to find out where this is. I need to get there. By any means necessary, I need to be at this party. I had to figure out a way to, first of all, find a location because everything around the event was extremely secretive. So every day leading up to the day, I was just like refreshing Twitter, like typing in the keywords Gaga Met Gala after party, and just hoping that somebody would drop the location. I figured once I know where it is, then it'll be easy. I can take it from there. Well, not easy, but I didn't find any information until the day of. I was at work. I was working at a donut shop at the time. Somebody accidentally leaked that the party was going to be held at this nightclub called the Diamond Horseshoe in Manhattan near Times Square. It's right underneath a really expensive hotel there. And I say accidentally because I remember seeing the tweet and telling my manager about it, and she kind of laughed it off, sure, whatever. And then I went back to look for the tweet and it was deleted 10 minutes later. So I was like, oh shit. So they didn't mean to post that. They weren't supposed to post that, but I'm very glad I saw it. So I tell my manager, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is happening. I know where this party is. I don't know how, but I'm gonna get in there. She kind of just laughed it off haha, yeah, sure, okay, good luck. And I was like, yeah, okay, see ya. So I get off work. I just needed to get there, and then I would figure it out once I got there. My original idea was just I'm just gonna walk in, pretend like I know somebody in there, and yeah, it'll be simple. I was really delusional. I was I'm just gonna walk in. I walked to the corner bodega to pick up a little bit of liquid courage because I was nervous, and I was also broke and knew that I wouldn't be able to afford whatever drinks they were selling at the party if I got in. So I get on the 7 train to get into the city. I'm drinking my little pocket whiskey bottles, hyping myself up, trying to get into the mood, okay, you got this, whatever happens, it happens. Best case scenario, get in. Worst case scenario, you don't get in and you find a different party. It wasn't until I got off the train and started walking to the club that I started getting really nervous. I started panicking because I was like, oh shit, this is really happening. Okay, I'm really about to try this. Oh shit, okay. Like I said, my original plan was just to try to walk in and schmooze security and pretend like I knew somebody inside, because that's worked for me in other situations, much lower profile parties, but it's worked. I got to the club, and outside the club there's a ton of fans, there's paparazzi, there's multiple huge buff security guards, and I was shook. I was like, okay, this might not be as simple as I originally thought. The thought of getting turned away at the door in front of all of those people, I was like, that's absolute worst case scenario. I wouldn't be mortified. I wouldn't be able to bounce back from that, I don't think. So I was like, okay, I need to regroup, and I just I walked past, and there was a park nearby, and I sat down in the park, and I finished my Jameson bottle, and I was like, okay, you got this, get it together, you can do this. But I knew that there was no way that I was just gonna walk in through the front door. That was impossible. I had to re-strategize. So I was like, okay, maybe I could get in through the hotel. If I couldn't get in, then only I would know. I wouldn't have an audience. So I go in through the hotel, and I sit on one of the couches in the lobby, I'm on my phone, pretending I'm calling somebody from upstairs, trying to look busy, trying to look like I'm not trying to sneak into the party downstairs. After a few minutes, I was like, okay, now or never. I wasn't sure if you needed a key card to get into the elevator, so I waited till somebody else went in, and then I went in with them. Then I went up a couple floors, got off on the 2nd floor, and then I scurried down the hallway and then into the stairwell, because I know that stairs always lead to the basement in buildings like that. I worked in a hotel once, and that's how it was, so I was like, it can't be too much different. So I was like, let me just try it. Sure enough, I walked down the stairs and I heard the bass, and I was like, oh shit, I'm getting closer. So I keep walking down the stairs. I got to a certain point where it was the garage entrance, and there was a security booth right there, and I could kind of see it from around the next corner. I was like, shit, I might get stopped. But I was like, you know what? If I get stopped, I'll just pretend like I was outside, because there was like the outside parking garage. I'll just pretend like I went out to have a cigarette. So I turned the corner, and sure enough, there was nobody out there, like nobody in the security booth. Apparently all the security there were, downstairs or outside working as bouncers. So I was like, yes. And I was like kind of scurried past just in case, somebody was actually there and hiding. Ran past the security booth and like went through like the first door that I saw, which happened to be the kitchen, or not the kitchen, like the locker room. And then the locker room, the employee locker room, turned into the kitchen. And then from the kitchen, I had like that, so they were like the servers, they were putting the drinks up, and I was like, oh shit. And then I saw the curtains, and I saw a little bit of smoke, and the music got louder, and I was like, oh shit, like I am in. And I was in. I got in. I made it into this party. I was like shook. Like I just remember like looking around and being like, whoa, because like I said, I had just moved to New York at the time, so I hadn't been to too many parties. I'm looking around and I'm surrounded by celebrities, like Madonna's here, Miley Cyrus is on stage like flirting with the DJ, who happened to be one of Gaga's producers, DJ White Shadow. Remember that. I'm just scoping it out, walking around, and it was a fun party. The vibe was kind of weird though, because there were so many famous people, and they were all kind of just like secluded in their VIP booths on the side. So all like the civilians, all the regular people were outside on the dance floor, but like no one was really dancing. Everybody was kind of just like looking at the famous people, and it was kind of weird. And then I didn't see Gaga anywhere. I was like, okay, that's cool, she'll probably either show up later. Let me just kind of hang out, be cool, not cause too much attention to myself, and just kind of vibe out. DJ White Shadow, aka Paul Blair, he's one of my favorite producers. Even outside of the work he does with Gaga, he's just like extremely talented. So I was excited to be there. I was like, even if I don't see Gaga, like this is fucking cool. Like I'm here. I made it in. I could get kicked out right now and this will still be the best night of my life. Like this is crazy. At this point, I'm like pretty drunk, so I'm just like hanging out, I'm vibing, I like go closer to the stage and I'm like, dancing to the music, and then suddenly the energy of the room like completely shifted. At first I was like, wait, what's going on? Like this is weird. And then I was like, oh man, oh man. Oh man. The way that the venue was set up is like there's the entrance right there, the stage is right there, the VIP is right there. I'm like basically in front of the stage as if it's like a show. I'm just like rocking out, and then behind me is like where everything else is. I didn't think that like Gaga would come out from that side, but it makes sense. Like she's the star and she's not gonna come in through the front door. But I was just shook that she was like kind of like, I was there, and when she walked in, she's just like coming like straight towards me. Like I promise I'm not making this up, like literally like walking directly to me, and I was like, it was like slow motion. Nobody was like talking to her, everybody was kind of just like staring, and like she was literally like coming directly to me. That's what it seemed like, but like obviously she was gonna like walk past me, and I was like, this is my moment, like this is my chance, like I have to say something, like I have to. I'm like, like I'm like internally panic, like I'm just getting nervous now even thinking about it. Focus, relax, I'm getting excited. So she's like coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is my chance, like I have to say something. And I did it. As she's coming towards me, I kind of tapped her on the shoulder, and then she looks up, and I don't really remember verbatim what I said, but it was something along the lines of like, you're awesome, I'm a huge fan, like I moved to New York like a month ago, like the city was changing my life, and like blah blah blah, probably some other stuff, I can't remember, but it was something along the lines of me just moving to the city. Because I remember quite vividly, she like looked me up and down, and then she was like, and you came as fierce as you are, and like did like a little, like the cutest little twirl, and like just like sauntered off, and I was like, Gaga called me fierce. Lady Gaga called me fierce. Lady Gaga looked at me up and down, called me fierce, and I touched her shoulder. Like that all happened. I mean, it was extremely brief, like probably less than 30 seconds, the entire interaction, but it was Lady Gaga, and it was me talking to her like at a party. Like that is insane. Immediately after she walked away, I kind of got swarmed by everybody who was around me. Like, oh my god, what did she say to you? Oh my god, what did you say to her? Oh my god, like, do you know her? Like, and I was like, no. I was really just like in disbelief, and like after that I was like, all right, I am the man, I'm just gonna have a good time now. I mean, as if I wasn't already having a good time. Paul is playing like Bowie, I think he played Fame or something, and like I went off because that's like my favorite Bowie song. And then Gaga gets up on the stage and she starts like go-go dancing, and I stay where I was, like near the front of the stage, and like she's up there and I'm just like trying not to like be so obvious that like I'm staring at her, and she's like dancing and like she looks down at me and winks, and I'm like, ah. Like I didn't actually freak out, like it was a fully internal freak out because I was very much trying to like look cool but I was dying on the inside. I was like, oh my god. So not only did she just talk to me and I touched her shoulder and she called me fierce, but she just winked at me, like direct eye contact and wink. Like it wasn't one of those things where like you're at a concert and you think like maybe she's pointing at you. No, like she looked into my soul and winked at me, and I was like, oh. And then that was it with Gaga. Like I was like, I can die happy now. Like this is the best night of my life officially. It was crazy. I said a couple words to Miley. Miley was super sweet. She was wearing like that dress with like the really sick cut that had like her hips exposed, and like I told her how sick the dress was, and she was like, oh thank you, and then walked away. And you know, I also met Alexander Wang for a hot second, and I was just like told him that I'm a huge fan of his work too, and I think he was like with a date or something because the guy he was with like gave me like the dirtiest look and like pulled Alexander away, and like Alex was super sweet. He was like, thank you, I really appreciate it, blah blah blah, but like the guy he was with was like not having it. I was like, okay, you know, I'm not trying to take your man, like relax. But yeah, and then that was the party. And then I remember I was coming out like through the main entrance, and one of Gaga's managers, like her day-to-day manager, Lane, who I know it's weird that I know that, but I was like, she was walking past me and I was like, hi Lane. And she was like, hi. As much as I wanted to ask Gaga for a picture, I didn't want to be that guy. Like I just wanted to just say my little piece and like let it be a cute moment that I retained. But I did get a little bit of video because like I went back, I walked to the bar and like pulled out my phone and pretended like I was texting, but I was totally recording her dancing on stage. So I got a little clip of that. I did get a picture with Paul, and I remember I handed my phone to Sarah Tano, who is Gaga's makeup artist, and she, like my phone was busted, completely shattered, and I remember handing her phone and she like looked at it like, and I was like, girl, I know, don't judge. But yeah, I got a couple pictures with Paul. That was it. I was like, okay, I can die happy. This is the best night of my life. Like there's no way that this could get any more interesting. So I just like, I walked outside of the club, and like I said, it was right next to Times Square. I got into Times Square and I just kind of sat in one of the chairs, and I was like just reflecting on what just happened. Wow, like I cannot believe that happened. And as I'm sitting there, Paul Blair, aka DJ White Shadow, is just sauntering across, like just walks across me, and like he kind of looks over and he's like, oh hey, and I was like, hey. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, come on, follow me. So he just took me to a bar and we just like chilled for hours until the bars closed, and we were just talking shit about life and music. And you know, I told him how hard art pop slapped, and he kept buying me drinks, and he bought me a bunch of drinks for the rest of the night. And you know, I gave him my last cigarette and he wished me well, and we parted ways. And the next thing I remember is waking up in front of McDonald's in Times Square, like fully like on the ground like a homeless person. I didn't realize I got that drunk. I was so excited. Like I didn't feel drunk the whole night because I was just like so amped up about everything that happened that, you know, apparently I just did not make it home that night. And I couldn't have been asleep for too long because like the bars closed at 4. We probably left at 4:30, and then I woke up at like 6. So I was probably asleep for an hour and a half in front of McDonald's, but it was worth it. It was so worth it. It was the best party experience I had had up to that point. Still one of my favorite party experiences ever. Definitely probably my top New York City party experience. And yeah, I still to this day can't believe that it happened the way it happened, because not only did I get in, but I actually got to interact with my favorite pop star in the world. And not only did I get to interact with her, but like it was easy. Like she walked towards me. Like I didn't have to like, you know, creep around. I mean, as much as breaking into a hotel and sneaking in through the back entrance is pretty creepy, but I'm just like still amazed at how everything worked out and lined up. And yeah, it was unforgettable. Don't try this at home, kids, because you might get arrested. I was lucky, like extremely lucky, that I didn't get caught and arrested and jailed, because I'm pretty sure what I did was illegal. But hey, I made it. That is all for today. Go stream Ode from the Dance Floor. It's out now wherever you stream music. And then I got some more music coming out on New Year's Eve. So, you know, if you wanted a party, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, leave a blue heart in the comments. Let me know that you're there. And tell me if you have any crazy party experiences. Until next time, thanks again for watching. See you next Thursday. Gaga, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for crashing your party.